Well guys, we finally got it. The gun whose launch was so weird that none of us were even sure if it existed. Was it in stock? Was it out of stock? Did anybody actually see it? Did anybody know what it was? Did the company even know? That's right, we got our hands on the PSA Dagger. Let's get to work. Today we've got another Glock clone for you, and if the last one that we covered, the Rock Island STK, was like the more refined Glock clone, this is the opposite. The Dagger comes in right around $300. This particular one is not optics ready. Supposedly they're bringing one out. Who knows when, because honestly, we didn't even know when this one was coming out. When they first dropped this thing, I actually had one in my cart, and so did about 5 other people that I knew. And by the time all of us got through, their website was down and they were all gone. And none of them showed up at anybody. Like, you didn't see them on the forums, you didn't see them on Facebook, nothing. They just weren't there. So none of us were really sure what to expect. Well, now we've got it in hand, and let's talk about it a little bit. So the design of the Dagger is, again, it is a Glock clone. It does have some improvements, very similar to other Glock clones. It's got a more ergonomic grip shape. It does have a minor beaver tail built in here versus the Gen 3 Glock, which has absolutely nothing. It's got a standard Gen 3 mag release. This one extremely stiff, to the point where it's actually a little bit difficult for me to push it to drop mags. The sights are standard 3-dot sights. They are metal and they are Glock compatible. It does have a single-sided slide release. This one is not extended. And overall in the hand, it feels very good. It actually feels similar to the grip shape of like an M&P, which is nice because the M&P does have a very nice grip shape. It does have a single finger groove here. On my medium-sized hands, that doesn't feel too bad. On your large hands, it might, but there's a pretty big gap in there. I actually feel it on my ring finger is how high up my grip lands on that. The trigger on the Dagger is more similar to like an M&P trigger. It's got that hinged trigger safety instead of its tab trigger safety like most Glocks and Glock systems have now. And it's not good. We'll just say it's not good. It is super creepy. I don't know if you can hear this. I'm going to hold it up to the mic really quick. That's how loud this thing is. You can actually hear the grinding of the polymer as you pull that trigger back. The brake, it's got like 3/8 to just shy of a 1/2 inch of travel. Then you hit a wall, and that wall is just super yuck. It isn't a hard, like it's a hard wall, but you pull and you don't break after that wall. You just pull through goop. And then it breaks at the back of the goop. The reset, actually relatively nice and short. It resets close to the back of the goop. You do have a little bit of goop that you still have to pull through in it, but it's not as bad as the initial trigger pull when you're pulling all the way through. Now that being said, when you're doing fast shots on this thing, you're not letting go at the reset. You're pulling all the way through the goop every time. So keep that in mind. Let's take some shots through this because I just keep harassing the trigger on it, and who knows, it may not matter one bit when I'm actually shooting it. So let's take some shots and see how that goes. It does come with a single PMag. The clones can't come with the OEM mags. I think that's relatively obvious why. They did include a PMag. I don't know which one I prefer, if I would prefer the PMag or the Korean mags that something like the STK100 comes with. The PMags stick out quite a bit. It does have an interesting little cutout here at the bottom for mag stripping. Super important for Glocks, since Glocks don't like dropping mags. Get off your high horse, Glock guys. I'm allowed to poke fun. Let's take some shots, find out how this thing shoots before I talk about it a little bit more. Okay, so it is snappy. So it feels really good in the hand, but I'll say, I don't know what it is. The recoil impulse is poppy, to say the least. Does feel like it recoils more than the majority of other guns within its size range. You don't notice the trigger quite as much when you're doing live fire. That's true of basically any trigger, whether it's good or bad. You're not going to notice the attributes quite as much when you're actually firing it. The sights leave a little bit to be desired. The front blade versus rear notch width is a little bit off. The front blade's a little bit wide, makes it a little bit harder to catch that light in each side. That's something that can be easily swapped out since it is Glock sights, but sometimes I would just like them to fix that from the factory. Call me picky. The grip feel, it does feel nice. It does stay planted in your hand, which is nice for a gun that seems to be poppier than it should be. The beaver tail worked really nice, kept me from getting slide bite. I have a bad problem with that on Gen 3 Glocks, so that was nice. It's easy to manipulate the gun. It's got nice cocking serrations, both front and back. The slide stop slide release is, again, it's a standard Glock slide stop slide release. Let's take some more shots through this thing. We're gonna finish this up back in the studio once I take more shots because it's getting too hot out here. The camera doesn't like it, and quite honestly, neither do I. This is a Glock 17 mag. Just gonna see if it functions. It is a P mag. Okay guys, so we moved back here, you're in the shade now, so hopefully we can get through this. Just finished up the shots with the Dagger, and a couple of finishing thoughts on it. Again, the grip shape, really nice. It is a little bit poppier than I expected for what it is, but the shape of the grip did really help. The stippling is interesting on this. It's not overly aggressive, but it does give you a lot of actual grip. Very similar to the grip on like the Hellcat or something like that, where the more you grip, the more you get on there. This is the problem that I have with the mag release. This is a stock Glock mag in here, and the stock, I'm pushing the mag release in and it's not dropping free until I pull through the mag release. You can actually feel it's still hanging up. And then the last issue that I've noticed with it, got a walking trigger pin here. Now this is not 100% a Gen 3 clone. We are running a single pin trigger group here, which if you've got a walking trigger pin in that case, that's even worse. But in those about 100 rounds I just shot, the trigger pin walked a little over 1/8 of an inch out of the gun. I will press that back in, but that's not a great sign if in the first 100 shots that trigger pin comes out. It's not going back in super easy with my own hand. Let's use our handy dandy Glock tool, a magazine. It's back in. So we'll see if that continues to happen on this gun. I'm hoping, obviously, that it doesn't. It's a nice-ish gun to shoot. It's not, like, super great, because as I said, it is a little bit snappy, but the grip shape is extremely nice, fits well in your hand, it's got okay sights, and for 300 bucks, so far it's a pretty solid little gun. It does have this little lip at the bottom that I'm just now noticing, because again, my hands are medium size, and they don't bother my hand a little bit, but they are going to bother a big user's hand. You can see how it kicks out right there. It fits my hand in there, but that's gonna rub some people the wrong way, both literally and metaphorically. So overall, that is the PSA Dagger, the unobtainium of Glock clones that we didn't even know if it existed. Thanks guys for watching. If you found this useful, do me a favor and hit that like button down below. If you like this kind of video and you want to see more, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, as well as the notification bell next to it. If you like what we do here on the channel and you want to help out a little bit, head on over to our website, that's workthetrigger.com. Over there, you're going to find coupon codes, affiliate codes, you're going to find apparel, and all of that kind of fun stuff. Thanks guys for watching. I appreciate every one of you, and until next time, do your research, get informed, and get to work.